Yeah, y'all know when y'all hear that sound, it's time for a party. And we having a party right here in Coach E Game for All Seasons. Welcome y'all to another episode with your boy Coach E, local neighborhood high school football coach, local neighborhood high school basketball coach, local neighborhood high school track coach, strength coach, Twinsburg football program. Also, most importantly, co-CEO El Presidente at Perfect Time Fitness and meal prep head trainer at Perfect Time Fitness. Coach E's YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead to YouTube, type in Coach E Game for All Seasons. Watch every episode that we have up there. And while you're there, subscribe to that channel, okay? So every time you subscribe to that channel, when you subscribe to that channel, you will get every single alert for when we drop a new episode, new content, whatever we do. You will get the email, you will get the notification. Tune in to that Coach E YouTube channel. Also, everywhere you get your podcast from, download every episode that you listen to, or just download every episode, period. That's how we get credit for this thing here, people. We need to start downloading. We see y'all listening because we have great conversations when y'all are done. But go ahead, hit that download button so we can get that credit for y'all listening to this great old show. This great old show we don't do alone. I got two assistant coaches on the left and my right hand side. Left hand side. It's so cold in the D. What up, Zen?
Pause. Yo, what's going on, Coach E? look, I put my head down, then B disappeared from the screen. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about this old Cleveland city of mines, man. Woo, lots going on. Some good, some not so good, some questionable, some suspect. But we're gonna get to it all. So what's good, fellas?
Man, somebody got some splaining to do. That's what somebody got some splaining to do. I need to be brought up so I can understand what the hell just transpired last week. But that's why y'all here. Y'all will help me break it down. On the right hand side, we got toboggan, baseball hat, Cavs. Byron, what up, Cavs?
First of all, E Scurry, I need you to turn that trim up because we is gonna be live today. You sound like it's WKRP in Cincinnati, like you Johnny Five. Turn that trim thing up. Let's get loud because we got celebration. I started to send y'all this Instagram. I saw the city was on fire. No Travis Hunter needed here. Nope. City on fire.
Whoa.
Why? Because Cavs in 4. Glass 4, open door. Don't matter, don't come back no more. Cavs in 4. I had the broom, but the wife stole it. She stole it back. She said, "Where you going with that?" I said, "I need to sweep the floor because the Cavs swept ass. They whooped, man, it was belt to ass. It don't matter, DG. Take your time, come back, relax. Because we whooped, folks got minutes. Everybody was out there kicking butt. Me and Coach Hud celebrating. I knew Hud was there with me. Cavs. Next, we gonna whoop on Indiana. Cavs. It's not your boy, but your favorite grown-ass man, Mr. Taboo Timmons. I'm on 12. Because the Cavs. What's up, fellas?
So was that a sweep prediction that you just did?
Yeah, man. Look, we swept. We whooped ass. Now, Indiana, they might be a little tougher. They got a little Halliburton, he come to play sometimes. Sometimes he take naps. But the Cavs, we so deep. We got 10-man rotation, like I told you it'd be. We got Allen doing his things, getting 6 steals in the first half. We whooping ass for record deficits. The last game, Eric Spo can't sleep because he know he got to come to game 4. I mean, it was just, man, it was marvelous. It was a miraculous celebration of the Cavaliers doing what they do, and that's whoop ass. 1 series down, another 2 to go, and we winning that championship.
That'll just get you to the championship. It don't win you that. But
Well,
okay.
we winning it, Zen. We winning it, Zen.
Okay.
Cavs.
So you saying front door,
ahead.
side door. You saying front door, side door, back door, Cavs and 4.
Cavs and 4. We might sweep Indiana though, because ain't nobody seen nothing like this. Ain't nobody seen, because Indiana was struggling with the third team with Tyson and Imani Bates and Tristan Thompson got buckets. So when he got to see that first and second team, when he got to see the boys, and Donovan could just sit back, that MVP could just sit back, man. And they turned him loose. They turned him loose one of them games because the buckets closed up. They turned him loose. Man, you don't want to turn that September 7th Virgo loose because he about to do some stuff. He can sit back, chill. He got what, 13 last night? In 13 minutes or something crazy? Man, we got top, man. Look, I know y'all somber. I'm happy. Y'all somber. I'm
Who's
happy.
somber?
Y'all
Why?
these long faces, cause y'all, I know what y'all about to talk about. You know what? I'm gonna throw some gasoline on that fire. A+ for the Browns draft.
Whoa. Are you
Okay.
grading on a curve or something?
A+ on that draft. I'm gonna start it up. 'Cause I know y'all somber. Look at Zen with his Malcolm X, his Koofy. I know he got something on that hat. Come on, man. What we talking about? I'm pumped.
You want to get it started, Coach E, or shall I?
You can go ahead and get started because I believe we on the same level. So what you on,
Okay.
I'm on too.
So last week, man, highs and lows. We talk about the highs right there. Mr. Taboo Timmons was talking about the Cavaliers. Some of the lows was Thursday night. Woo! Thursday night. We started off with a bang. Look, mouth started watering for some hash. Like, oh boy, it's about to happen. It's going down. Then that ESPN sound, doom 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 doom. Man, what was it? Mike Greenberg go to Adam Schefter, got breaking news. Hey, Browns trading out of that number 2 spot, going to the number 5. Like, yeah.
Disagree, but go ahead.
But hey, you thought that was gonna be it, boy. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski said, "Hold my water. We got more for you." Second round come, draft a linebacker nobody never heard of. It's like, woo, woo, woo. Where are we going with this? I was like, all right.
I can say I heard of him. I've
That's what I
heard of
mean.
him.
Okay, we'll
Good
get to that.
pickup.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Then we go on down, drafting. Day number 2 ends with a bang. Hey, we've been waiting on the quarterback, baby. Guess what?
Yeah.
We got one. Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
I was like, oh Lord, what in the world is going on? Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is just keep free falling. He falling, boy. Out of that first, out of that second, out of that third. Come to the third day, they ain't even want him in the 4th round. Man, it took the Browns the trade their last couple of draft picks in the 6th round to move on up into that 5th round and draft Shedeur Sanders. And at that point, I was like, I got something to get excited about. But exactly. But the question through that whole weekend was about Shedeur Sanders. Cam Ward went with the number 1 draft pick. Nobody's talking about him. It was all about Shedeur. And we want to know, why did Shedeur slide? Is this a situation where the NFL was trying to put him in check and put him in his place? What's y'all thoughts on why Shedeur slid in the draft like he did?
Yeah.
After you, Brother B.
All right, man. Get ready for that homer punch, man. Look, I had 2 scenarios. Me and he was talking about. I got 2 scenarios. One, he was in on it. Him and the Sanders was in on it. But then I said, and why would they be in on it? Because look, Haslam cooked up a plan to get a new stadium. He just got a new stadium. He a hero to the brothers. Brothers happy. Everybody happy across the state except y'all two. Y'all got the long faces. It's a lot of people happy. We still end up with Shedeur Sanders. We didn't need Travis, but I'm gonna come back to that. So at first I thought they was in on it because they look like heroes. But I said no, Shedeur wouldn't do that because I was like, why he tanked the interviews? Because everything came out, he tanked the interviews. He came in cocky. Maybe his advisors was like, show confidence. Maybe the confidence rubbed the people off the wrong way. The Giants people was talking about it. The Raiders insiders was talking about it, as well as many others. They said he was brash, uninterested, and unprepared. And when they asked him about it, he got an attitude about it. That's what the Giants and the coach actually came out and said. So, if that was the case, I'm like, well, he didn't tank on purpose, maybe his handlers, but I think it was exactly that. I think the NFL said, look, y'all ain't running no show. Y'all still ninjas. Y'all ain't running no show. Dion, you talked that back in 2018 that you would not advise a young QB to go to the Brown system. You said that in 2018. It's on record. You went on Tamron Hall running your mouth, like I said. You was talking about not my son, this, that, and the fourth. I get what y'all saying. He trying to set forth the best path. But when you do that, you got to know what can come with it. People try to compare it to Kaepernick. Kaepernick, you got to know what came with it. He used it as a platform, what came with it. So what he was trying to do, I get. He was trying to pull Arch Manning, and that's why I think the Dylan Gabriel came into play. That was the insurance card because the NFL said, "Look," Haslam said, "Look, I need my stadium." He was dangling out there. The NFL said, "Look, take him off y'all boards. We don't want that." And he okay. He's okay. He ain't worth it. And he taking the interviews, and his daddy want to be in the mix. So they said, "Look, take him off the board." We didn't even have him on the board. Andrew Berry and Stefanski, they didn't want him. They was like, "Yo, he's a good young man," but they left that interview like, "We don't want him either." Haslam called down and made that draft pick. How I think so? You can see the look on their faces. So I think Haslam cooked that up with the NFL good old boys. They proved the point. They sent him to the place, Siberia, aka Cleveland Browns, where he didn't want to go, where his daddy didn't want him to go. And now he's here. He still could have pulled the Arch Manning. He didn't. So look, that's all good. Step up, show, and prove. It's nothing but opportunity. I'm happy with the draft pick. I'm happy with all the picks because once I broke it down and look at who these guys were, I'm like, okay, I see what they was doing. They was filling holes. I get the quarterback position, but Haslam knew what he was gonna do the whole time. He knew he was safe with that pick, especially when Pittsburgh overlooked him and they ain't got nobody. But they got Will Howard now. Good solid pick.
Coach E, man. Hey,
Yo.
I got more, but we have to stop there.
Hey, Coach E. Let's talk about Deion. You can answer this question, but also while you're answering that question, man, did our second favorite coach, Deion Sanders, did he overplay his hand going into this draft? Did he, or did we out hype or did we overhype, I should say, Shedeur and thought he was better than he actually was? And these NFL GMs thought differently. Is it us? Was it Deion playing his hand and he turned some people the wrong way? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I hear what B was saying, but look at Shedeur. Like, yo, let's keep it real. He is nothing to the level of his father. That kid is a whole lot more humble than his daddy is. I'm like, man, when you go and try to find stuff on this record, man, you looking at the stuff on his record when you try to.
I agree with you
because he do this. So
no, but that's why I was like, well, why he take the interviews? That's why I didn't understand. That's why I was like, was he in on it?
I sent you the video, B. That's why I sent you that video because he said right there in that video, folks out here got me thinking I was out here just acting a fool in these interviews. I came to these interviews unprepared. He was like, this narrative out here, and it ain't even true. That's why I sent you that video, so you could hear him say what he said while he was sitting there waiting. But we got to let Coach E jump in here. I got to let Coach E get his word in. Go ahead.
Let me ask
Coach
one
E.
question, though. One question, and you throw this out. Is he Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels? That's all I want to know. Is he that good? Because I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all watch every game. Y'all watch college. Is he that good?
So with that comparison, they're two totally different playing
I'm just
styles.
saying, is he on that level from y'all perspective? Not playing style, just level of play.
I will answer.
He can be.
Yeah, I'm going to answer.
No, I'm talking about right now, not can
No.
be. I'm talking about right now.
I'm going to tell you this. You said number 1 or number 2 picks of last year's draft. No. But was he – my eye saw first round talent, though. That's what it definitely saw.
All right, go ahead.
So I won't say top of the board, but he definitely was the first round.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to know that.
He could have definitely went number 2, I think. But go ahead, Coach E.
So with the whole thing you just said, B, I agree with some of it. It's still some other parts that goes into it. I believe it was 100% collusion involved. I think they was trying to send a message to the whole Sanders family and just the way they do their stuff, the way Deion runs his program with the NIL stuff. Of course, everybody does the NIL stuff, but just like I told my kids that I train Saturday mornings, that Saturday morning I went to that session and I had to make a point to tell them, y'all see what's going on. Don't matter how good you are, what kind of work you put in, you still are going to be judged for your color, other people's behavior in your color and things like that. Everybody's gonna be put in a box. So they just saw him doing all the young stuff with the watch flash, just like Zen was talking about. That's as far as
Mm-hmm.
he goes. But he does have a little bit of his father in him as far as my chain was 100,000, blah, blah, blah. But he's a 20-something-year-old kid with that kind of money. That go back to the Mark episode. Teach them how to spend their money, teach them how to save their money. Young people with money like that, they're going to be brash because what else are they going to do with the money? They're going to be brash. They have nothing to do but be in college and play football and buy stuff and flaunt stuff because that's all they see on the TV. That's all they see with the other players in the NFL doing. So, of course, they have that money now. So they're
And
going to
daddy.
do that stuff. Yeah, and daddy, he been like that his
Mm-hmm.
whole life. He's been a rich kid his whole life. Silver spoon, if you want to say it like that. Like how we say with the rich white kids, silver spoon, trust baby, whatever you want to call it. He's been
Mm-hmm.
that his whole life. As far as behavior wise, just like Zen said, you got to look with a fine tooth comb to try and find anything bad on him. So that's why I think it was collusion involved. The owners got together. They wanted to send a message and drop him as far as they could. And then as soon as they got done, just like you said, B, it was a Haslam call. I do believe it was a Haslam call
Mm-hmm.
because he got a call from the other owners and said, okay, that's enough. Whoever want to get him, get him. And I think we was the closest one to getting them. So that's how it ended up happening. Just like Zen said, you could see their faces. They like
Yeah.
Andrew Barry was very
Man.
unenthused. Kevin Stefanski, he's always just stone faced anyway, so he was very unenthused. But he can definitely be a game changer. I'm not calling for him to start, but
Yeah.
this could be our long distance quarterback. Like this could be
Mm-hmm.
the one that we've been looking for because he's so young. And like I've been saying on these episodes, he's already a pro style quarterback. And you got Stefanski with this pro style offense. I think he fits right in the fold of what they want to do anyway. We don't really go deep. We really don't do the deep balls. Jameis came in because that was Ken Dorsey doing those play callings when we was hitting Jerry Judy deep that Denver game and so on and so forth. Other games in between there. That's not Stefanski's offense. Stefanski's offense is the play action, run game, tight end, short route, move the ball down the field in little chunks. He doesn't really like big chunks. You can take the big chunks if they're there, but he doesn't really emphasize the deep ball in the big cuts. Hence why another situation why I was so pissed off about the draft, we never addressed the wide receiver situation.
Yeah.
Not one time. You can say we got Fanning from Bowling Green, but he's not a receiver. That just ensures that we're going to go that double tight like we've been doing with the Harrison Bryants and Njoku. Now it's just going to be Fanning and Njoku, which he is kind of a hybrid, but he's not a purebred receiver that we need. Now we're going into next year with Jerry Judy, Michael Woods II, and Tillman.
Right. It's
And
another
throw
we
in
just
the
picked up. We just picked
oh
up
man, I'm not
Johnson.
worried about it.
No?
Not worried about him at
Deontay
all.
Johnson and Elijah Moore. You ain't excited about that?
Yeah, I
Man,
know
Elijah
y'all said
Moore is
Elijah
gone.
gone.
What?
But look,
Elijah Moore is gone.
yeah, he
But
gone. But
Deontay
Dante
Johnson,
Johnson.
No,
Okay.
no. I swore I saw Elijah Moore.
That's what I thought. Y'all lied to me. Y'all
No,
lied
No.
to
they
me.
just brought him back like
That's because they
today.
heard me talking about him. They
no,
heard
it's
me and they
still
let's
they
see.
put a unrestricted free agent tab on him. But if anybody signs him, he can go with them. They just did that to like try to mess with him or whatever. That's a very seldom used tag that they use with him. They have the
Okay.
option to match it, but
Oh, okay.
Tony Grossi was on the radio today talking about it's probably about an 80% chance that he's gone. And a 20% chance that he might stay is probably even lower than that. They just trying to make his life hard or whatever, business
Ah,
situation. It makes no sense. It's just a whole
Okay.
bunch of
he
give
good
and
under
go, give and
Flacco.
take and all that.
All right.
But once again, yeah, my bad guy. Go ahead, Zane.
Oh no. So let's break it down. So
Oh, damn.
Dion, did he who's done everything, it seems right. This is probably like the first chink in the armor for Dion. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think so though.
you don't think so?
Wait,
That
No,
no.
because when you asked if he overplayed his hand, everybody was dealt that same hand. It wasn't like he just did that by himself. Every pundit, everybody that you heard of that watched this past season had him in the top 2 quarterback rankings all year. So that's the hand that they were dealt. They didn't like make this stuff up. Everybody was saying Shador is the either first or second quarterback in this draft for the whole year, all the way up until the night of the draft when he started sliding. That's when people started tucking tail and switching on him. But all before that, every single person was saying how he was going to be first or second. So I don't think he blew nothing or like
I
did anything wrong.
I
That's
think
what he was
so.
given.
I think so. He said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And he tried to approach his draft situation with Shador like he approached his situation when he was a player.
Yeah.
Like him coming in and saying, "Oh, you picking where? Man, I won't be around." That type of attitude, and you could tell Shador went into the draft process with that same type of moxie, that same type of demeanor as well too, showing up to the draft combine with his hat to the back, cocked to the side, not taking the Marvin Harrison Jr. route. I ain't doing nothing here at the combine. I'm not running. I'm not throwing. I'm not doing anything. Like,
Cam didn't
and he
throw.
looked at
Cam didn't
himself on
run.
the same level as a Marvin Harrison Jr., as a who else that does this? Well, much like his father. Looked at himself like much like his father. But the thing was, the perception of him wasn't that way. People didn't look at him in that same light.
I,
They didn't look at him as
I just don't
a
buy that.
sure thing like they did his daddy. So
Yeah.
or Marvin Harrison Jr. They not looked at it as that same light. You could sit out and say, just look at my film. He didn't have that same
Mhm.
perception about him, and that's why I said he kind of played it wrong, because he said the quiet part out loud. He tried to do the arch man and try to put the league and the GMs on notice that y'all ain't gonna mistreat my son this type of way. Whereas Archie Manning, he did that behind the scenes. That stuff came out after the fact. That he wasn't gonna allow Eli to go to San Diego and this, that, and the third. So if this true that he was like, man, my son ain't gonna go to certain teams or whatever, and he had him going to those interviews acting a certain way with certain teams, that's where I was like,
See,
there's a little bit of a chink in the armor. And
but the one
so
I don't understand is the Giants, though, because the Giants, they had a relationship, Dion and the minority owner, and it still was like, not the Giants, the Raiders. And even the Raiders insider came out and said, like, the interview was bad. And when you Cavs. And when you put that with what you just said with the combine, it kind of matches the same thing with that moxie. Like, I got this, so I don't need the shook and jive for y'all because I already got it. I got it on lock. I don't need to go out here and show y'all what else I got. But on the flip, that's why I'm back and forth with the whole they was in on it. Because if you do that, Dion with Tamron
No.
Hall plus, I know it's far fetched because I'm like, it shouldn't be, but in the end, he won though. He still, his draft stock slid, but he came to the one organization who get a new stadium because of that. Who by that time, it's nobody that's gonna be in the way. It's his team in a new stadium, and you see what they did for Watson. So
Who's
they
team?
might do the same for him.
The whole sliding in the draft, you can't underestimate that. He lost $30 to $40 million. I don't care who you are. That is never the goal. You never want to do that.
That's what
But
they
I'm just
say.
saying,
No,
that's
what it
a
is.
fact.
That's what his actual salary going
it's first
be.
round money compared to
coming
fifth
out the
round
gate.
money.
Yes.
Look,
But what if
first
he
round
promised
money
on
to
the
fifth
back
round
end
money
though?
is not
What if-
even in the same stratosphere at all.
Bruh.
Talking about that? You talking about the rookie contract or after the rookie contract?
No, what he did,
No,
his
period.
rookie contract.
The
yes.
first
Rookie
round,
contract.
first round they get money.
Yes.
Fifth round they don't.
Okay, well, rookie contract was first 4, okay, but the Haslam's come back and say, look, you ought to be a new stadium, new squad, and nothing in your way. And you see what we did for Watson. We're gonna give you $500 million guaranteed.
B.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yes. Of course, they didn't say anything like that. B, he's a 5th round draft pick.
He is.
They just so
That's not good.
basically it's not even guaranteed that he can make the squad because of what the quarterback room is looking like right now
He
with
ain't
4
gonna make the
quarterbacks.
squads, and let's just say because Haslam gonna override everything. Haslam, the owner, is gonna say, Barry, shut your mouth. Stefanski, shut your mouth. This is my golden ticket for the new stadium. The
So-
brothers love it, and they gonna allow that syntax to go on their cigarettes and Black and Mild so we can get this stadium. Y'all shut up, make them work. They
Nah.
already came out and said they ain't picking up Kenny Pickett's 5th year option. They's already
No,
telling
they said
y'all
that's
what it
still up in
is.
the air. No,
They said they ain't
definitely
picking
still
up the
in air.
option. They was like, we
They
ain't
said
doing
it's
it.
still up in the air. Literally,
bet
that was
you.
talked about today. Literally
What's
Kenny
he-
Pickett
today.
will be on
10
the
o'clock
practice
this morning.
squad.
Was he 4th or
Basically,
5th round?
5th.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Yeah, it was fifth.
So-
5th round, 144.
144.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says 4.59 million.
Yeah, that's trash, dude.
Yeah, compared to first round.
Cam Ward.
42. Yeah, I
Well,
saw them
he is number
42
one, but
right
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, man. The lowest, the number 32 pick get 13.3 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
again, y'all emotions, but y'all couldn't say he was good as Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Y'all didn't say he was that damn good. Like he should have just been
You
drafted
can't-
number 2.
But you can't just throw those names out there and say, is he as good as? Because it's not going to be the same situation, and he's not the same player as them. So you really can't say, is he going to be as good as them? He is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Once he gets his feet wet,
I
he will be a
disagree.
starting quarterback in the NFL. Because that's just what you were saying, Zen, about the GMs and stuff coming out saying all this now. All year, everybody has been saying he is a first round talent. So why all of a sudden did it just switch on that particular night? That's
I
why
don't
I
know,
believe it's
man.
collusion.
Rick, jump
I
in here,
think they
man.
just said
Jump
it
in here,
wasn't
Go
worth
ahead,
the
bro.
headache, man.
I think it was a lot of the media saying he was a first round talent because
A lot of the media met with these GMs and had these conversations earlier in the year with the Adam
Right.
Schefflers.
so why wasn't he
told
taking
y'all
first
after that.
round?
I told y'all after
'Cause
that
that's the-
combine,
I
his
gave
stock was
that-
going down. They was cooking up that saying he wasn't interviewing cool. He coming there with hat. Zen just said hat to the back. He ain't willing to go out there on the combine. And if he really blew these meetings, they like, look, and we got to deal with his daddy doing interviews on Tamron Hall talking too much. No, it's too much.
I hate
Pass
that.
on it.
I hate that narrative. The deal with his daddy. What is he gonna do? What is Deion gonna do? Come into an NFL franchise and try and tell them how to run it? He's not gonna do that. So what do you mean? They got to deal with his daddy?
Yes, he is.
Because
You don't
Deion
think-
has a
No, he's
platform.
not.
Deion
Yes.
has a platform to go
That's
on
Rick.
these shows and be like,
Tamron
yeah,
Hall.
they using him wrong. If he would, if
Yep.
he was doing it this way, if I was coaching him,
Yep.
when I had him, when we were, Deion got a platform.
Yeah.
And my
people
thing
gonna
But I
listen.
don't think he would use it to do that now that his son's
He already
in the
did
league.
it.
and
He
I
already did it.
and I
Now
have a
that he
theory
is
about
in the
that
league,
because
I
it's
don't see
like
him doing it.
when I myself have not recruited a kid because of their parent, like myself.
Yeah.
And I take myself with my son and his basketball career. I have been told by my wife, Rick, you can't be acting a certain way at games because that's gonna reflect on him. I've had to watch how I act because of my son out on the court. What makes Deion why isn't he held to the same standard? Because he's Deion?
He's Deion. He's prime. He's loud. He's a former player and entitled.
Hold
Y'all
up,
gotta
hold up.
say what it is, man.
Let me
Deion
tell it what it is.
entitled.
But I'm gonna tell it what also it is. You say all this stuff, but Shedeur would not be where he is without all that Deion
Maybe,
brings to
yeah.
the table.
Okay.
Deion brings more positive than negative when it comes to Shedeur. So I don't want to.
I
Y'all
like
can say
that.
that little piece,
Right.
but
I like
no,
that.
Shedeur
I
would
like
not be
that.
where he is right now if it wasn't for all that
You
and what
right.
he instilled in him. So yeah, nah.
He gotta learn to fall back sometimes, though. Deion, Jake, Paul Sanders. I mean, come on, man. They was out there.
So-
What Rick say? 9-4. They was okay, and his mechanics. There's a lot of people that break down his mechanics. Kurt Warner, right now, on his QB Confidential, he broke down some of the stuff where he was lacking: progressions, holding the ball,
Absolutely.
accuracy, decision
But he's
making. I mean,
He's a college quarterback coming into the NFL. He's going to get NFL coaching now, from now
Yeah.
on the level that he needs to get.
I'm not
Cam
wasting
Ward
the
still
first
has
round
holes
draft
and
pick on
stuff in
that.
his game.
I
I'm
would.
not wasting the
There
first
you
round draft
go.
pick
I
on that.
would.
People
would.
buying the hype. They
I
buying
don't
the
think
hype.
it's a waste.
Man, it ain't even buying the hype.
Okay. Let's wait. Is he Lamar Jackson?
Let me tell you what
Hell
he is.
no.
He is Lamar Jackson for the Cleveland Browns, and I told y'all this last week. There's
You can't get a straight
type
answer,
of
Rick.
quarterback.
Is he Lamar
the type
Jackson?
I've
he
been
is the
trying,
type
Rick.
of quarterback. He is the type of quarterback that Kevin Stefanski thrives with, and this is what kind of makes me mad with the whole situation is we playing with the food. We wasted a draft pick, either the
How?
Dylan
He still
Gabriel
got it.
draft pick
Dylan Gabriel.
or his yes.
What the hell are we
We-
doing with
That's
Dylan
in
Gabriel?
case his
When we-
daddy
Come on,
pull
man.
an arch and say don't play for the Browns.
Whatever.
Hold up.
Hold
Dylan
on. Let me
Gabriel
finish.
will
Let me
never
finish.
be
Let me
a
finish.
factor.
Let me finish. So we playing around, playing with our food. That Dylan Gabriel pick is a wasted draft pick.
Y'all act
He's
like he was
5'11". He's left-handed. He's not
not even
that great.
5'11".
He is what Dorian Thompson Robinson. He's Cody Kessler. We've seen this story before. Man, no.
That's not fair.
We wasted a draft pick when we did not address the offensive line. And like E mentioned, we did not address wide receiver. Neither one of those. And we could have drafted Shedeur right there. Put him in position right there. Here we go.
What?
We got that lock loaded. We can then, when we come later on in the draft, we'll have two more picks where we could have addressed at least one time the offensive line and a wide receiver. As I say, we too busy playing games. Man, going out here getting mediocre quarterbacks, trying to make us believe that
How?
they're gonna be the real deal. They tried to do this before with DTR. Man, I'm not buying it again. I
Then they on the same
signed up for that.
field,
that
man.
I signed up
They
for
on-
that membership once before. I'm good this time, man.
They
I
on the
know what
same
Dylan
playing
Gabriel
field.
is.
He was
No, they're not,
decent
B.
in college. Because they're going to the NFL. Just like Shedeur is not NFL start ready. He has accuracy issues. He has decision making issues. He has arm strength issues.
What
He has to learn the
quarterback
Dylan
coming out
Gabriel
of college
He is
does
not
it?
exactly. That's what I'm telling you. They're on the same playing field
No,
in
they
the
ain't.
NFL with
No,
no
they're not.
resume,
No,
no
they're not.
history.
Not at all.
They are.
I'm
Just
gonna say-
because
Not at all.
I'ma
let's
say
just
Dylan
say it. Just
Gabriel's
because
higher
he's
than him.
black, that's why y'all love him.
I'm gonna say
Y'all
Dylan
don't-
Gabriel's higher than him.
No.
Ask me how many defensive linemen got drafted out of the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. Talk to him, Rick.
Probably
None.
one or two, if that.
Shit
Yeah, I was
comment.
gonna
None.
say, if that.
0. Ask me how many defensive players, period, got drafted out of the Big 12. 2. A linebacker and a
Shit
DB
conference.
late.
Shit
Now,
conference.
Well,
that
actually, there was
doesn't-
one
that
D
doesn't
lineman,
say-
the Nebraska D lineman.
Who? Nebraska? That's Big 10.
Yeah, Nebraska
Big
D
12.
lineman. Oh yeah,
That's
damn
Big
right.
10.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
That's
Yeah.
why I wanted
And-
Will Howard over.
And so that
Shedeur Sanders.
goes to my
That's the
case for
Big
Dylan
10.
Gabriel. He playing against more NFL talent ready kids
Yes.
than Shedeur is. And so you go 9, whatever their record was, against
9-4.
9 and 4
Bruh,
against
bruh,
non-caliber
9-0.
Bruh.
non-caliber people.
No.
9-0 versus
No,
9-0.
what?
Rick.
You
No,
that's
what?
Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow saw NFL quality defenses week in and week out, and he was a winner too. What the hell that got to do with it, man? It has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. I'm telling you, I've seen this movie before, man. I'm sorry, you're not selling me on that BS, man. My eyes see what my eyes see, and
What
my
your
eyes saw
eyes
a
see? Your
big
eyes is
quarterback
blind.
who could dissect the defense. With
Who
the
never got
proper
sat down
head
because his daddy
coaching,
was the head
he
coach.
could do his thing.
Exactly.
Who never
A
had any
defense-
competition in the quarterback room at any
Thank
school he
you.
was at.
No
Who had the
competition.
offense? Who had the
Didn't
offense
win it.
designed around him for
to do
one
with-
read? And if you can't
It
make that
has
first
nothing
read,
to do with his
use
talent
your
and
feet.
his production on the field.
then when he uses
It
his
has
feet,
nothing-
he's
you
going
talking
right and
about
left.
off stuff, off
which
the field
causes
stuff,
more
it has
sacks.
nothing to do with it.
I
And
got a
Kurt Warner
breakdown. I got
showed
a
that,
breakdown
Rick.
for Shador if you want to hear it. If a
Kurt Warner
breakdown.
showed that same thing, Rick, that you talking about. He was talking about the same stuff in QB Confidential when he break down all of the quarterbacks. He was showing his poor reads. He missed a lot of open second and third reads because he go for that first one. If that first one ain't open, he try to force the ball a lot of times.
Then he
This dude
runs.
is not NFL ready.
He runs with his
Like,
feet, and he's not running
yes.
north. He's running east-west, which
And he's slow.
And this
and
is a
now
Beckett
that
guy.
has now
And he
thrown
was
off
a Beckett
the
guy.
launch point for the quarterback. So now the offensive lineman, I don't know where my quarterback is setting up, and now the defensive line is rushing, and if he keeps dropping straight back, now that makes the rush lane straighter and not an arc, and that's all on
Absolutely.
Shador. They got nothing to do with the offensive line.
That's QB broke
I think
down
the
by
offensive line had
QB.
a lot to do with that, though, Rick.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was
really
scrappy too,
it had a
though.
lot to do with it.
In
Yeah.
a shit conference. So what you think you got in the NFL? You got less time than that. And his decision making was poor in a shit conference. He's not ready. He's in a perfect position now to sit back, learn the system, become ready, get those mechanics down so he don't have no pressure
He
on
got
him.
drafted where he should have.
Exactly. He's good. He's in a good
And I hope
I don't
he
believe that.
does well. I hope he does well.
I
But he
don't
got drafted
believe
where he
should
should have.
have won the 5th round.
Earn it.
Not the 5th round,
Earn it.
Rick. Not the 5th round.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
The 5th round is
Y'all
insane.
speaking with y'all.
so were we wrong
No.
about Quentin Ewers? Were we wrong
No,
about
I'm
Quentin
not
Ewers?
at all.
Were we wrong about Quentin Ewers too?
Who was
Man,
I don't
that,
think
Rick?
Quinn
Ewers
Ewers
better
stands a
than
chance.
Quinn Ewers, man.
Oh, you
Quarterback.
He's put up better numbers than Quinn Ewers, man. Come on.
Well, they
Seriously.
went. His team just went to
Like-
the national championship though.
His team,
Yeah, because he had talent
took,
around him,
from-
though.
yes,
The Texas
we
talent
talking
and
about
Colorado
Texas.
talent, total different things.
that went from 1 win, and he brought him up to 9 wins over the course of 2 seasons, bruh.
Dion
on,
did that.
man.
Yeah,
That was
man.
Dion.
We
That was
all-
Dion.
we
That
all
wasn't
can
Shador, that was
agree.
Dion.
We all can agree. We all can agree. They had a 9-4 record. That's not a great record, but we still are talking about
But-
the University of Colorado.
Exactly. We
That
talking about where
means
it
a
came
lot,
from.
y'all. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just,
but y'all always
truth.
tell me that what was that the Big 12? It's a shit conference. Rick just broke down how many
you
D
can say
players
that
was
all you
taken
wanna
out of that.
say.
So you not
can say
playing
it all-
against the talent pool. You shining. You a big fish in a small pond.
And didn't win.
Now
the
you with a
conference.
bunch of
And
big
didn't-
fish, piranhas, sharks,
and didn't win the conference.
stingrays,
And didn't win the
and
conference.
then win
I-
did you win the conference? So how y'all automatically because y'all drinking the
was-
punch. Y'all drinking the prime
No,
juice.
I'm not drinking no punch. It was Shador and Travis. Name another person,
Horn.
please.
The other
Where did he
wide
get
out.
drafted?
3. Now we up to 3.
Where did he get drafted?
He was a
Where
free
did Webster
agent.
get
It's 3
drafted?
against 11.
He was a free agent.
You know
Free
what I'm
agent.
saying?
Free agent signer.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Y'all can say that.
we gonna
and
see. We
I
gonna
see
see.
y'all point. I'm not muting y'all point at all, but y'all have to understand what y'all are saying is just black and white. It's still some other stuff in there that y'all need to pay attention to. I'm not saying he's about to come in here and start. I already said he still needs to do stuff to get ready, but I think he is the answer because
So-
he will be ready when it's
Yeah,
his turn to
this
play.
Long term.
but
Which
I
I'm
got-
not spending a first round draft pick on a dude that's going to sit because
Right.
I don't want the microphone in my backup quarterback's locker as me running
Okay.
the
But it's
organization.
gonna be like that anyway now because the whole
Now
shit
it is,
show
yeah.
that they put him
That's the
through.
show they want.
Mhm.
Brown's going Brown. And I don't think it was the GM. I think it was the head, like the owner,
Yeah.
like y'all saying.
Yeah.
All right. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Question is now that he's a 5th round draft pick, he's a 4th quarterback in there. Like I said before, he's the 5th round draft pick. There's not a guarantee that he's gonna make the squad because I didn't know NFL practices work like how it worked with 3rd team. He's gonna be splitting 3rd team reps with
Absolutely.
Dylan Gabriel, and from my understanding, 3rd team, like they said, over a course of 16 plays in a period of practice,
Probably get 2 or 3.
2. Yes,
If
they
that.
told.
Yeah,
they were
if
saying
that.
2, and there's like,
He's
and
pretty
then there's
much gonna
2.
be the scout team quarterback.
So you're gonna be, so you're not getting the reps. You're gonna have to do most of your stuff mentally, and the only time you really gonna be able to get any real work is in a preseason game with very little practice. And look, given those situations, man, he might not come out here because if he don't come out here and cook like he need to cook, I'm like, it's no guarantee that he
His
can make
spot
the
is
squad.
secure. His
So
spot's secure.
that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
think he'll
said
make
they're
it.
playing
Yeah.
with their food. Like to
Yeah.
me,
Hype alone.
they could have secured him as their third quarterback. Me and Rick, we could disagree. Okay, you say first round, but he sure enough could have been that third round selection over Dylan Gabriel. I'm gonna stand on that one
I
because
think Gabriel
Dylan
gonna
Gabriel
surprise y'all.
went to school for how many years, and he how old? I'm
6
good.
years.
Like, yeah, I'm
Experience.
good, and he still ain't do nothing. Like, man, I'm good. I'm straight on that. But
Yeah, what did Dylan Gabriel win, guys? What did he
Yeah.
win?
yeah,
What did Dylan Gabriel win?
I mean, he played like Rick said. He played against better talent. Look, they all on an
But what
even
did he
playing field
win?
now.
Y'all
don't
hit me
matter.
with Shedeur didn't win nothing. What did Dylan Gabriel win?
See, me personally, I don't care. Like for me, I don't care about
Now
college
you don't care.
because college to me. Because again, Tim Couch was a beast at UK. He got wherever he came from. He got like records and stuff. He came to the league with shit. You got like Rick broke down for y'all last week. You got guys that came in. You got Brady, Mr. Irrelevant, the GOAT. So college means nothing. It's just translate to the NFL. What can they do? This is a whole different ballgame. It's best of the best of the best. So just like Travis Hunter, like that whole sideshow, let him go where he want to go. Let him go to Jacksonville. I wasn't mad
Wow.
about that either. Cause that sideshow ain't no
Unbelievable.
guarantee for him. He come in privileged, and they drinking that Deion juice like they privileged, and they ain't earned shit.
Damn.
They earned shit in the NFL.
wait a minute.
This
A
is
dude that played how many plays in a game ain't do
Yeah,
jack?
but
Oh,
bruh,
no. That
you
man did
talking
more than
about
enough. That
in
man did more than
college.
enough. I'm sorry.
College.
this is a perfect opportunity. I'm gonna insert something right here, fellas. It may be a little
Pause.
lengthy, but this is a personal.
pause.
Yeah,
Don't
sorry. Pause. This is a personal shout out and a lesson for you, Byron. You need to hear this. Are you familiar with Warren Sapp?
Yes, Warren Sapp,
Does his
black guy with
opinion
a cool mustache.
mean anything to you? Do you believe like
Yes,
anything he
he
says?
is
like,
Warren
do you-
Sapp, of course. I hate that bastard because he was in the conference, but yes.
Oh,
So
man,
you like what he says?
Clearly not knowing who
Yeah.
you talking about. But go
I
ahead.
do. Warren. Oh,
Oh, okay.
damn. My mind said Warren Moon. That's funny. Good catch, Zen. Warren Sapp. Yeah, he cool.
Damn.
Clearly. does
I
not-
heard Warren
He
Moon.
was
I'm
gone.
like,
cool mustache. I'm like, what is he talking
Yeah, he
about?
never
Then he
had a
said they in the
mustache.
same conference. I'm like, he
yeah.
clearly
No,
does
Warren
not
Sapp.
know.
Okay, Warren Sapp. Warren
So
Sapp.
this
Okay,
is for
what do you
you,
say?
B. For you to. This is for you that you really believe that Travis Hunter didn't do anything.
Hunter, where does he rank? Rich, I called a friend of mine week 2 and I said he's going to win the Heisman. I had never seen anything like it. And I know I was a dog in college. I know I was. Can't touch him. I mean, cover a 9 route, turn around, run a dig, and go all the way to the end zone. Every time he scored. Play after play. And the joy in his face and just his enthusiasm about the game was just infectious, Rich. I mean, it was sick.
But you know the next level as well as anybody. How many snaps can he play in a pro game and be as great as he is on both sides of the ball?
I'm gonna put him on a corner and lock down 1/3 of the field.
Yep.
So now I can play with my defense and rotate and do the different things I want to do.
So that's 60 snaps, right?
Oh yeah, he's getting all of those.
Okay.
I'm the one paying the bills. I ain't never told an employee what I'm gonna do. That's a wild thing to say, isn't it? But then you have a package for him on offense because the game that they built now has an Autobahn, Rich, and you got a V12 right here. You put him in certain situations, 6-10 plays a game. Why not?
So, well, I asked Todd McShay from the Senior Bowl the other day, who is the most dynamic offensive player in the draft, and he said Travis Hunter.
It ain't even close. Rich.
It ain't even close.
So this is the guy that we said, nah, we don't need him. Let's trade this pick away. To Rick's point, it was so many D tackles in the Big Ten that got drafted. So we chose to pass on that talent that they were just talking about to get a defensive tackle at number 5. I rest my case.
Okay. Well, look,
Yo, this is
bruh,
Julio Jones
You
all
don't know that
over
yet.
again for trading down when we could have a talent, a dog and we gonna
You
trade
don't
it
know
down
what he
to
is
Brandon
yet.
Hill
You don't
Taylor.
know. You
This
don't
is-
That was a
know.
Hall of Famer that just said that.
No, but
You
you
don't
know what
believe a Hall of
he
Famer?
he kind of contradicted himself because at first he
Oh,
said
man.
defense. He said, listen to it. He said defense first, which okay, defense sound like the majority. Then he said 6 to 10 snaps per game on offense, and then he came and said the majority on offense. So which is it? Like me personally, I would put him on offense. Let him catch, cause yeah, he run those Chris Sprouse. He's fast. He got short hands. But when you flip on the other side of that ball, like Greg Williams had to get on Denzel Ward about tackling wrong and thinking you in college where you could hit little dudes, and he was getting hurt. That boy he could get hurt, and I'm not wishing nothing bad on him. But that's a lot to play at the NFL level. That's a lot of meat coming your way and fast that you could just do.
And
Now I'm not saying hey, hopefully he can, but I just don't see it. I don't see it.
And this
I
is a
think-
guy, ladies and gentlemen, that is Baker
think-
Mayfield's #1 fan. Let that
I
sink in.
am. Sure is. And
That,
Baker better than Shador.
That pick happened when we worked out the contract deal with Garrett.
Yep. Garrett made that pick.
Garrett made that pick because that was
Ooh,
probably
Garrett.
the whole reason about because
Yep.
Garrett was on his way out. We're gonna get you some help on the D line because
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken, they took a D tackle and then they got another edge rusher, didn't they?
They picked up
linebacker.
two edge rushers before when Garrett got signed. They signed 2 edge rushers, and then they picked up that D tackle, a linebacker. They built up because 4.5 up the middle per
Yeah.
carry.
We,
So I
we
think
didn't
revolving
get another
doors.
edge rusher out the draft. The edge
No,
rusher
not
we
the
got was
draft.
from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he is blah. I don't know how much help he's going to be. I don't even know how much help Mason Graham is going to be pass rush wise. His
Oh.
sack numbers are not eye-popping at all.
Just don't let the
Hold on.
runner go up the middle with the revolving doors I've been talking about all these years. That's all he there to do.
Let me-
Him and Mike Hall, Michigan and Old State, side by side.
Let me
Yes, so who
go
gonna
ahead and
score?
set this up. Let me set this up because you gave me the opportunity to talk to a Michigan fan so we could get that in-depth analysis
What
of
Michigan fan?
of Mason Graham. So I asked if you're listening to the podcast, I asked Charles Salter, who's on here every year when it comes after the Ohio State Michigan game, to give us a breakdown of Mason Graham. So I asked him 3 questions. So I asked him, why should the Browns get excited about Mason Graham coming to the team? And this is what he had to say.
I think honestly, man, just coming from a football perspective, man, we needed some help on the defensive line. We needed some help to go alongside with Myles Garrett. We picked the most disruptive defensive tackle in the nation, honestly. There's a reason why he went as high as he went. There's a reason why he anchored the Michigan defensive line, and we've had as many defensive starters as we had picked in this draft, just because our defense has been legit for the past 2 seasons. So just looking at his stats alone, I mean, and you know what the crazy part is that defensive line stats can be so misleading, right? Especially as a defensive tackle, right? Because you just immediately want to just say, well, how many sacks did he have? And how many tackles did he have? Well, but the thing is, though, that you have to understand is that when you're playing defensive line from that perspective, you can be so disruptive and taking on double teams that free up linebackers and other people to make tackles that you did your job. You did exactly what you needed to do. And you really can anchor a defense that way, but it won't show up in the stat book because you maybe didn't make the tackle or you maybe didn't make the sack. But what Mason Graham does is cause so much disruption in the middle that he commands a double team. You can't really block him one-on-one. So now if you're commanding a double team, that means that somebody else ain't being blocked. That means that the linebacker's running free. That means if they're playing games defensive line wise, that means that they're looping or they're slanting or angling. And that now you're doing your job to make your defense that much better, and especially with the all pro defensive end and Myles Garrett, it could be a really, really good. It's a steal for them.
Okay, hold on. Let me. So this
The
is our prize. So I had a couple more questions that I asked him to try to conjure up some excitement, get me excited. So I was like, hey, give me something. What could possibly what's the heights we could possibly reach with a Mason Graham on our team? So he gave me some comparisons. So this is the comparisons that he gave me.
I'd say if I had to guess, he's going to be that of someone almost like a Warren Sapp, someone of that of maybe like an Aaron Donald type cat.
Oh wow,
like
that's
an
what I
old
heard.
school and Ndamukong Suh. Now again, if these are guys that I think he can live up to, he's nowhere near lived up to that hype yet in the league yet. He hasn't taken a snap in the league. But if he progresses and does the things that he should be doing, I think that he can get close to that level. I don't want to say that he's on their level already, and he is not by any means. He hasn't taken a snap, but if he continues to do what I think he's going to do, I think he's got a shot to be, close to that level, I should say.
In my
Yeah.
last question that I asked, so I had to get some more, intel about Mason Graham. So I was like, my last question: if you were the Browns and you had the chance to draft Travis Hunter, would you have did the same thing that the Browns did and trade back and take Mason Graham? So he was like, would he have taken Travis Hunter? His answer was
no, and I'll tell you why. Travis Hunter is going to sell tickets. I think that Travis Hunter is an extremely good athlete, can play both sides of the ball, can do it all. But that is not what we need right now. That ain't what we need. He ain't going to win us games right now. That's not what we need. We needed somebody to anchor that defensive line. We need to be steadfast on the defensive line and be sound defensively. That's what we need right now. So you can't always tell, you can't always take what the fancy gadget. You got to take what you need in order to be successful, and that's what we need. We need Mason Graham. No, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter's going to sell tickets. I think that Travis Hunter is
my bad. Look, hold on, quiet down. look.
Hey,
y'all,
repeat
don't
on him,
shit.
then.
y'all don't know.
Wow.
Charles Salter is the head coach for the Twinsburg Tigers, which our very own Coach E is a part of the staff on. So, I know.
Wait till I see that son of a bitch.
Right, he going to work this scrotum.
Oh man, what's your thoughts? Your thoughts on what he had to say and why Mason Graham is the proper choice for the Cleveland Browns?
I'll be real quick.
No.
I'll be
No,
real
damn
quick.
that, I'm going first. I can't sit here and be quiet on that shit.
He can't sit back.
I totally understand what he's trying to say and what his point he's trying to stir up. We are a team that averaged 15 points a game last year. We do need those gadgets. Those gadgets are going to score points that is going to help us win the game. And yes, the defense will get stops. But once again, I ask to this Charles Salters guy, is Mason Graham that far ahead of every other D tackle that was drafted? Hence the Oregon D tackle that went to Pittsburgh. Hence the Mississippi State tackle, the Ole Miss D tackle, the long laundry list of D tackles that was drafted in the first and second round. How far ahead is Mason Graham than over those guys? That's my question. For a number 5 pick, you are supposed to get an offensive threat. We did not address the offensive wide receiver position. That was a must. We were supposed to come out of this draft with a wide receiver that was going to be a game changer. Now we are still throwing to the same people that we threw to last year that didn't help us. So therein lies the problem. Defense, yeah, okay, great. Defense wins games. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Offense scores as well. You need offense for this team.
He passed the ball to you, B. What you gonna do?
Pass the ball. All right, look. A lot of teams looked at the Eagles. Eagles had a mean front four that disrupted the baby goat. The baby goat looked like a lamb, and he was sacrificed to those defensive animals that had him under duress. So teams looked at that. The Browns looked at that. Look, we turned 2 for 1. We got Graham because while you saying we had 15 points a game, we didn't have Joe Flacco. With Joe Flacco, we had a lot more points, a lot more yards. He's back. We also running up the middle, 4.5 yards per carry. Let's not, the revolving doors, been talking about that for years. They was giving it up like a hole on Bourbon Street. Okay, we turned that into Graham and Judkins. I thought you liked Judkins, the pickup of Judkins. That turned from them picks.
He's
so you don't think
See?
Yeah, we need a running back. You don't like a running back? You always talking about run the damn ball. You don't like that pickup?
So is he going to score from 90-yard runs every time he touches the ball?
No, he don't need to. That's what you got, Joe Flacco, the slanger.
Oh
You
my
got
God.
what did it not happen? Did when Joe Flacco was here, did it not happen?
We
Everybody act
lost
like it
in the
don't
playoffs,
happen.
the wild
We lost
card
in the
round.
playoffs because your defense gave up 31 points to a rookie QB. That's why we lost.
Did you forget about the 14 punts
Yeah,
Joe
what's
Flacco gave
more?
them?
14 or 31?
Oh,
What's
okay.
more?
Just checking.
Because
Just checking.
14 don't matter if that 31 is not here. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Defense needed some improvement. So I like the Browns what they did. They passed some holes and they end up still getting him on wholesale. And in case he don't work out, we got Gabriel. We passed some holes, but everybody on the same playing field.
If he can command a double team, then he's done his job, because that leaves the other three guys single covered, as man on man. And if you got three guys, one of them got to win and get to the quarterback. And we got a guy on the edge that wins more times than not, with Garrett. So if he can do that, I mean, it's a lot to spend a first round, draft pick to. It's almost like you drafted him to make him better, to make Garrett better. And if that's what he's going to do, then it's a good pick.
But is that going to happen, though? Charles keeps talking about these double teams. In order for them to double him, that means they're going to single Miles.
Yeah, they ain't gonna
the
single
protection
Miles.
goes to Miles.
Yeah, I don't ever think he'll be chipped. He'll be some,
Yeah.
So that frees up the other two.
The back is going to be there, and the guard and tackle is going to be there, or tight end tackle, or tight end guard and tackle. I've seen plays where this guy gets triple teamed. So if Mason Graham is the Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh that Charles is trying to say that he's going to be, it is other D tackles that can do the same thing.
Hey.
That is my point.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
And he's not. That's what he was saying. That's what he was alluding to. He's not. So we could have used that for the number 2 pick to get Travis a receiver and drafted another D tackle, because another D tackle is going to do the same thing, essentially what Mason Graham is going to be praised and told to do, because Miles is going to garner all that attention. I don't care if it's Mason Graham or Tim Graham or John Jones, another defensive tackle that is a rookie that has been proven in doing the same thing in college with the numbers that Charles said that Mason Graham, you might not see it in the stats. He can do the same thing. So we could have waited in the second round or something else to get a defensive tackle. That's all I'm saying.
They claim he was the number 1 D tackle in the draft.
Okay,
that's what a lot of the
cool.
reports came out. Like he was the number 1, and we are.
Travis Hunter was the best player in the draft. So we said we are cool on the best player. We're so good, we don't need him. That's what we said.
We're
not in a position to do that.
I'm talking about they said they cool on the. Well, it's funny. I think they said they was cool on the Flash because. And the Flash, like y'all saying, the Travis Hunter, and if he come in already trying to command, he want to play both sides of the ball. Like, shut up and just see what they need you to do. Like,
he's going to, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, out there in Jacksonville, he can do that, but I don't like that. You can't come in saying, "Look, I'm gonna do this or I'm quitting."
Unbelievable.
Nah, man.
I need the Browns to actually draft when you're in position to get a dog. Take the dog. Man, it's over the course of the time. They do this time and time again. I brought up Julio Jones. Now, y'all might throw some tomatoes at me. We drafted Joe Thomas. Man, you know who we could have gotten?
10-year All-Star.
Yes, it was great. You know who we could have gotten? Adrian Peterson. And dog, I needed that dog right there.
Is he gonna win games? Is he gonna win games with a week?
We didn't win with Joe. We didn't win with Joe.
Joe did his thing. He played his position.
Thing.
But can AP be AP here in Cleveland?
He would have been in Cleveland, man.
He was AP in Minnesota. What offensive line did Minnesota have?
Minnesota ain't Cleveland. It's the AFC North.
It's just
Man,
time.
what does that mean?
King of the North. It's the North.
Just time and time again, man. We in position to draft a dog that could really be a game changer. and we get a little too cute, man, and we overthink these things. And
The
I
smartest
think they
dummies
did
in the
great.
room, Zen.
They did
yeah,
great, man. Cause we weak in the middle, man. I'm gonna just disagree
Once
with y'all.
again,
I
we
ain't even
could
gonna
have got
agree to
another D
disagree.
tackle later. Are you hearing me
Yeah,
say that?
but
We could
Travis,
have got
all
another
that.
D tackle later.
Yeah, they look,
Who's going to
and
score?
then we got another first round pick next year because Jacksonville only winning 6 games this year. Prediction:
And we're
Morpheus,
winning
mark it.
5.
No
We're winning
shit,
5.
you crazy, you crazy. We gonna
So let
win
me
more
guess.
than Jacksonville.
Joe
all right.
Flacco's gonna
Yeah,
win
we
9
got
games.
Joe Flacco on defense, so we think.
Okay,
Come on, Rick, man.
okay.
Wow.
So Rick,
Rick look disgusted,
talk
man.
to
Why
me
you
about
look so
let's talk about
disgusted?
the rest of the draft class as a whole. Did you get excited once you saw all the collections of the picks? Did you get excited? Were you excited about a Judkins? Were you excited about a Fanning? Were you excited about what's the other running back name out of Tennessee?
Samson.
Samson. Were you excited about Samson? You said you are more of a fan of Gabriel than Sanders. So overall, when it was all said and done and you saw the collection of the picks, did that get you excited about the future of the Cleveland Browns moving forward?
Really excited about Judkins. And I'm gonna ride with Fanning. I'm gonna give him a chance. I like him. He's a good athlete. He can catch the ball. He can make plays after the catch, yards after the catch, all that. Judkins and Fanning. Everybody else, they cool. Linebacker from UCLA, he's good. He had
Oh,
one
I forgot
season
about him.
as a standout season in college. He was a walk on that worked his ass off. He was a special team ace. He ended up being a starting linebacker. He's actually a good tackling machine, but as B would say, that's college. We don't know what he's going to do in the NFL, so
Yeah,
we'll
he
just
earned
take
it
that
though.
route.
He ain't entitled.
Oh,
He
so
gonna work
he
for his.
earned it.
All right,
He
Rick.
earned it.
His daddy was a coach.
It,
Unbelievable. Save me, Rick.
I like the Judkins pick. I was excited about
I
him, but
got
it
I
seems
gotta ask you, Judkins or Henderson? Like I thought it was Henderson, but I'm hearing more Judkins. But see, I guess because being in the South, that reminds me the two-headed monster reminds me of Sony Michel and Nick Chubb. And people would say Sony Michel, and I'd be like, nah, it's Nick Chubb. And so I'm like, tell me what is it Judkins? I thought Judkins was like behind. He was the second fiddle to Travion Henderson.
No,
that was the
he's
other
just
kid at
great
Ohio
for
State, right?
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when
He's
it
better
switched.
for
I was
us.
with you, Zen. I was like, because you watch the games and Henderson getting most of the burn. Now he can
Mhm.
fly though. Like he got
Yeah.
legit speed. Like that dude. I seen when he broke loose a couple times and he outrun pursuit ankles. Like so that might have
Absolutely.
been what pushed him over. That
But
his speed.
with Judkins, he's more of a Chubb. He's a very
Yeah.
physical runner. As B alluded to, the AFC North, we need those kind of guys. Henderson still would have did us a great justice, but he's not really a AFC North running back kind of guy. He's more of a not spread offense, but he's kind of more of a zone offense guy, not a up the middle guy.
Okay. All right. So Rick, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I heard you talk about Judkins. Talk about the rest of the draft class and your thoughts on that.
I don't know. Just the two quarterbacks. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more going on in that room than we know as the public. Like I don't
100%.
when they pick Shador and old boy sitting over there like and don't read too much. No, I'm reading all into that. Like that. I think he did not want that pick. I think they made him take that pick. Like almost a Jerry Jones, Johnny Manziel type thing. Like, they was about to lock Jerry Jones in the closet, because he was about to pick him.
That being said, okay, we've encountered, if that's the case, we've encountered situations where head coaches haven't picked the quarterback that they want. So is Shador really gonna get a fair shot here in Cleveland?
Yes. Yep. Because it's the owner. It's the guy that writes checks. It's the guy that Watson. They brought Watson in and tried to make it for him and give up the play calling and Ken Dorsey and unlock Watson, the bum
But
that
are you
never
gonna go
was.
through all that for a 5th round draft pick though? I
Yeah,
think
because
that
he
gives
gonna sell
I think that
tickets.
gives Stefanski a little more wiggle room. Yeah,
No, it
Watson
don't.
was a $230 million guaranteed guy, so you got to do everything in your powers to try to make it work.
You
But
gonna sell
for a 5th
tickets.
round, is it gonna
This
sell?
ticket. It's Shador, man. You should have
Yeah,
heard. You know all y'all was happy, man. Y'all, you know the brothers was happy.
They're gonna be
The
on every
Hassles was
preseason
zeros,
game.
man.
They're gonna be on every
Yes,
yeah,
he
preseason
gonna
game.
play.
Gonna be talking
Everybody
they
gonna be
definitely
put
selling
them
tickets.
in. Yeah, you gonna sell tickets and you get in your stadium because they know, like he said, he the future.
Wait a
This
minute.
is
You
you
talking
gonna
on both sides of your mouth. If he's not NFL ready, you just told me he's not
future.
NFL ready.
Future's in. The stadium ain't ready yet. Future.
You ain't gonna so you telling me they're gonna sit on this guy for because the stadium ain't until 28, 29 at best?
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Like, man,
28.
They
you
ain't gonna
gotta
sit
do
on that
something.
long.
No,
Yeah,
they ain't got to. You got Flacco. He gonna ball out this
Oh my
year.
God.
The path is clear after that. Gabriel ain't gonna go in tonight. I think because they flew out there personally to see Gabriel. They snuck that visit in. So I think Gabriel gonna compete. Kenny Pickett is the
exactly.
odd man out here. So I think you got Flacco and
No,
2 rookies. Pickett on the
the
practice
40-year-old
squad.
virgin is the odd man out
No,
because
he
he's
is
only
not.
here for this year.
Yeah, this year.
He's not a
Yeah,
future. So
right.
he's
No,
not
I'm
the
not
future.
saying he is. All I'm saying is he's the man now. The odd man out for now because
I
Kenny
don't think
Pickett thought he
so.
was now, and one other man thought it was not. Shador is not starting, man. You know it. Who you say
Kenny
is gonna
Pickett.
start? Hell
This is
no.
how
What?
dumb this. We're talking about your Cleveland Brown franchise who
Yeah, but
don't
the
do
fans
nothing
will
right.
riot.
Kenny Pickett. Well, no, they won't.
Flacco
They're
fever.
gonna get on the same bandwagon that they
No.
do every single year.
Nope.
Every single year.
Flacco
Jeff
fever,
Garcia
man.
started. Jeff
So you
Garcia
think
fever.
started here.
so you think
Jake
Kenny
Delhomme
Pickett
started here.
you think
1,600
Kenny
yards
Kenny
Pickett's
in
gonna
5
be the
and
games.
starter?
Hell no.
Joe will be the backup, emergency situations. And if Kenny Pickett doesn't do good, yeah, they're going to insert Joe. But I think Kenny Pickett is going to be the number one guy to start off.
Man,
That's
I
not what
will
I'm
bet
wishing. I just know
we
how dumb they are.
put
And if I
20
told you we
20
had
on
the
it.
number 2 pick and they was going to trade it to get a D tackle, would you believe me? No, because they do dumb stuff. That's what they do.
It's not
That's just
dumb.
like telling Wilt Chamberlain, oh, yeah, go ahead, keep shooting threes. We got all these picks from Andrew Berry. He ain't hitting nothing yet, and we just keep giving him picks. Some got to give.
Rick, you think
And I really believe, sorry,
Put
Zane, this
20
is my
on it.
last walk-off. Berry and Stefanski, this is their last year. If they don't get nothing right this year, they're done.
okay? All right.
I'll be surprised if Shador make the what's it 53-man, 55-man roster,
Nah,
because I think this is all from that. It was the last pick they had. It was all from that tweet. You know, I like what the Browns did, but ain't no way my son gonna play in Cleveland.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
And then they're gonna be like,
Teach him a lesson.
ain't no way we're keeping him. Sorry, son. They're gonna wait till the last minute and they're gonna waive him.
I don't see that.
Nah,
man.
he gonna say that's their stadium, Rick. That's because the brothers gonna vote for the stadium because they want Shador. They gonna go to the stadium. The brothers is happy. We picked them up. We saved them. Haslam is a hero, man. I'm telling you,
You
he
think
gonna
it's
be there.
a public pick?
It's a public pick. Exactly. He's a fan favorite already. Him and
He
Joe
is.
Flacco. You got Joe Flacco because 1,600 yards better than Watson, and you got Shador. Now you got Gabriel. He gonna have the ball, and Kenny Pickett is the odd man out because
You
Kenny
got-
Pickett thought he was the future.
You got who the white folks wanted, and you got who the black folks wanted.
Say it, Rick. That's all it is. I was very interested in bingo yesterday. It was very interesting conversations. The white people, they love Flacco. Now, there's some white people that love Shador, though. I ain't gonna lie, though. They love Shador. But
It's a
the
lot.
brothers overall love Shador. Shador is the future. It's no pressure on him to come in right now and be mediocre that he is. He ain't got to go out there and shit the bed. He can become great.
When that season start, though, it's gonna be a civil war.
It
Like,
is.
Who leave Flacco in, push Shador in. No, put Flacco in, push Shador. It's gonna be a civil war.
You
I
let
don't even
Flacco
think
start throwing picks.
I don't think
It's over.
Shador is going to even be in the conversation.
I
That's
don't either.
how I look
I
at it.
know.
This season, I don't even expect to hear Shador's name be mentioned once.
They don't.
Huh?
Yeah, they don't
Well,
want to be
After
judging
the preseason, I don't expect to
well,
hear his name anymore.
judging
He's
on the 5 games that we gonna win in the last 2 games, that really
he
ain't gonna
might
mean
get
nothing.
some burn for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Cleveland. It always happens like
No.
this. We
See, when
played
we
4
go,
quarterbacks in 1 year before, guys. So anything's
when we
possible.
go 13-4 playoff
Oh my
berth,
God.
Bruh, all right, man.
they gonna have
You
packages for
getting a little
Shador.
loopy now. We getting
Hey,
yeah,
Mary Kay said they was drafting 2 quarterbacks. Y'all laughed at it, and it happened. So
no, nobody
Yeah.
laughed at it. I
yes, y'all
figured they
did.
Nobody
would
Play the
paid any
because
tape.
attention.
Play the tape. Y'all
nah,
laughed at it. Play the tape.
nah. I definitely saw a situation. I thought it was gonna be one early. I thought it was gonna if it was to do it, it was gonna be like a Kirk Cousins RG3 situation where one get drafted early and then one get drafted later on, and you gonna have one clearly established as on the pecking order. This way, Dylan
Weird.
Gabriel being
He
higher
gonna
on the
ball.
pecking order to start this thing off frustrates me. But
Shador got a
hey,
chip on his shoulder, and Flacco gonna take him under his wing on the Stefanski's offense, like he
yeah,
says.
in your make believe world, I'm sure, man.
No, it's real. It's here.
Yo, all right, man, fellas, good pod, good pod. Oh man, oh boy, Rick, you came in better late than never, brother. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Hey, Rick,
Putting
one
in that.
time. Calves.
Calves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew we weren't gonna get into no cast, man. It was too much on that
They ain't play
Browns.
nobody.
But yeah,
We
we'll
played the
get into that
YMCA
as they
men's
get into the
league.
next series against Indiana. Now that the battle has
Calves
been
and
set.
four. Calves and four.
37 and up, men's league, YMCA.
That's in 4.
But Coach E,
What up, though?
you got a post game word for the people.
I absolutely do, Zen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gather around, take a knee. All eyes on me. Today's word is your time is coming. Keep being consistent. Keep following through. Keep to your plan. Your time is coming. You will be ready whenever your time comes. Just know it's coming. You've been consistent for years. You've been disciplined for years. You've been doing your thing for years. You've been praying for years. You've been setting yourself up and your family for years. Your time is coming. Don't get discouraged. It's not your timing, it's God's timing. So go ahead and continue to stay ready because your time is coming. You never know when it's going to come, but just know it's coming. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Your time is coming.
All right, let's go.
Win on me, win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Win!
It sounds so sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of Coach E Game for All Seasons. Once again, email the show at gameforallseasons@gmail.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach E Game for All Seasons. Download wherever you get your podcast from. Once again, we need those numbers. We got to see who's listening, who's downloading. Go ahead, hit that download button wherever you get your podcast at. It's Shador time, B. Like it or not. With that being said, see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Game for All Seasons with Coach E. Remember to hit the like or subscribe button on Coach E's YouTube channel. To listen on the go, download wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow Coach E on Instagram, X, and TikTok at BigF216. Contact us at www.perfecttimefitness.com for one-on-one or group training sessions. Our theme music provided by Mr. Taboo Timmons on SoundCloud at Mr. Taboo Timmons. Once again, thanks for listening and see you next week.
Win on me, win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Win!
It sounds so sweet.